Welcome to a travel not at all like any other, a journey profound into the pith of your claim control. You're here for a reason, not by insignificant chance. Nowadays, we investigate a significant concept regularly covered in secret and representations, your inward enchantment. But let's reframe our thinking. This enchantment isn't a figure of discourse. It's genuine, substantial, and beating inside you right presently, holding up to be unleashed. In this video, we dig into the heart of what it implies to get to and utilize this unimaginable vitality. Envision changing not fair. Your claim life, but to affecting the world around you. That's the potential of understanding and tackling your internal enchantment. Remain tuned as we uncover how antiquated intelligence adjusts with cutting-edge science, bridging crevices and disclosing truths around the vitality you hold inside. Prepared to open your potential. Let's start. Understanding magic and energy. Enchantment could be a word that summons up pictures of spells, witches, and extraordinary events. But at its center, enchantment is essentially the hone of channeling and coordinating concealed energies to reshape reality, agreeing to one's will and deliberate. What cutting-edge science gets it as energy? Those vibrating bundles of light and sound that make up all matter and life itself is absolutely what the antiquated spiritualists alluded to as magic. It is the elemental control that invigorates the universe and streams through all living creatures as a life constraint. Whereas this concept of a ubiquitous vitality could seem enchanted, it is really completely recognized by present-day material science. Researchers know that underneath the surface of all fabric reality exist lively areas and subatomic particles vibrating at the quantum level. It is basically that most individuals cannot see these vitality domains with their restricted faculties. The old aces, be that as it may, created exact procedures to sense and work with these inconspicuous vitality areas. They realized we are not fair physical bodies, but creatures of light, sound, and strong life-constrained vitality. By learning to cultivate, harmonize, and coordinate this vitality intentioned, they found ready to significantly impact our individual reality and the universe itself. So whereas the word enchantment could seem informal, it is basically an antiquated term for what we presently call vitality work, sign, and the authority of quantum areas through intellect, breath, and centered deliberate. Enchantment was never guile or dream, but the profound understanding of working with concealed energies. As you observe this video, be arranged to stir your tangible recognition of these subtle energies. You'll be guided through time-honored odes from magical conventions to enact your possess natural capacity to gotten to be a cognizant conduit and chief of the basic strengths that shape all of creation. By the conclusion, enchantment will take on a completely unused meaning for you. The enchantment of opening your full enthusiastic potential as a strong source of light in this universe. Remain tuned, since this investigation will move your reality in shocking and possibly indeed supernatural ways. Verifiable and philosophical setting. Presently that we get it. Enchantment is essentially the authority of inconspicuous energies. Let's jump into the profound wellspring of antiquated intelligence encompassing this capable constraint. Whereas present-day science has measured vitality into scientific hypotheses, the primordial conventions give deep insights into straightforwardly encountering and working with these primal powers. One of the most punctual writings to shed light on the nature of this life, constrained vitality, is the Vedic philosophy's Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Dating back thousands of a long time, it talks of prana, the imperative life-giving vitality that courses through all creatures. Patanjali mapped particular vitality pathways and chakra centers inside us that can be actuated and adjusted. Around the same era, the Vigyan Bhairav Tantra risen from the yogic convention in Kashmir. This exclusive content given 112 reflection procedures to stir the kundalini, the latent vitality lying dormant at the base of the spine. By awakening this otherworldly constraint, one seemed purportedly accomplish edification and supernatural powers. In Old Egypt, the emerald tablets of the mythic figure Thoth, or Hermes Trismegistus, contain mystery lessons on the all, the bound-together vitality field that was both the premise of all matter and the infracosmic insights that organized all of creation. Thoth was the model of the sage, who realized all his vitality at its center. Within the East, the reasoning of qi stemmed from old Chinese conventions like Taoism. This ever-present life drive was caught on to be the vital source that saturated all living things and nature itself. Accomplishing well-being and lifespan came from developing, harmonizing, and coordinating one's qi through ons like qigong and needle therapy. Whereas utilizing diverse dialects and social representations, all of these antiquated conventions recognize the exceptionally same principal truth, that we are not fair physical creatures but energetic concentrations of a binding together life drive vitality. This vitality is our source, sustenance, and profound potential. By tapping into this immortal intelligence, ready to rise above the reductive realist mindset and realize the deeper energetic substratum from which all creation springs, we can stir to our fundamental nature as multidimensional creatures of light, vibration, and boundless conceivable outcomes. Profound jump into antiquated writings. To genuinely encapsulate the lively intelligence of the antiquated conventions, we must go straightforwardly to the source lessons and drink deeply from these significant wells of information. One of the foremost life-changing writings on acing the life drive is the Emerald Tablets, whose rumored creator was the ethereal figure Thoth or Hermes Trismegistus. Whereas covered in mystery, these enigmatic tablets give key bits of knowledge into the nature of the all, the underlying bound-together field of energy and awareness that gives rise to the whole universe. Thoth declared that the heart of the fire stays inside each individual, as a start of this boundless source vitality. He instructed that by attuning our awareness to this internal fire through contemplation, custom, and profound thought, we might eventually involvement the all and our characteristic association to it as co-creators. The tablets talk of entering a transfigured state by controlling our vital life strengths and using mental powers. Thoth's teachings basically given a guide for rising above our restricted human recognition to view the energetic fabric of reality itself. By seeing through the figment of fabric dormancy, we may come to straightforwardly involvement ourselves and all of creation as dynamic sparkles of the interminable enormous fire. Whereas the dialect is in fact thick with code words and mythology, the pith is obvious. We all have a sacred obligation to stir the sleeping fire inside and grant full expression to our divine, lively potential. Through this process of enthusiastic enactment, we will accomplish dominance over our individual and shared reality. The Emerald Tablets reverberate what the previous ancient traditions intimated, that we are massively more tremendous, effective, and connected than we are able as of now see with our restricted faculties. By recovering the total capacities of our unobtrusive vitality shape, we will birth our possess individual and collective renaissance as divine beings among people. Viable methods for tackling vitality. With the significant shrewdness of the antiquated writings lighting up the genuine nature of vitality and our part as co-creators, we presently arrive at the significant question: how do we practically harness and use this intrinsic control in our lives? Luckily, the primordial conventions moreover give a treasure trove of time-honored strategies for doing precisely that. Before applying these techniques, guarantee you altogether investigate them and consider counseling with specialized specialists in this field. One of the foremost foundational hones is reflection, particularly with a center on the heart center. By calming the turbulence of the mind through restrained mindfulness, able to adjust to the unobtrusive energies throbbing in the heart chakra locale. With practice, you'll learn to sense and open up this internal brilliance. From there, vitality development works out permit you to circulate and accumulate this life-constrained intention. One effective Taoist technique involves using the hands and breath to construct an energetic ball that you can coordinate and unleash with focused visualization. You'll hone this hands-on to viscerally involvement being a generator and conduit of vitality. The old Egyptians, like Thoth, too emphasized working with sacrosanct geometry images and rituals to deliberately shape and tackle these primordial strengths. You'll learn how to form defensive circles, energize objects, and indeed impact living creatures by channeling aim through these supernatural advances. Of course, no exploration of pranic dominance would be complete without pranayama, the old yogic science of breath control. You'll learn particular breathwork designs like Nadi Shodhana, substitute nostril breathing, to balance your vitality channels and develop a state of energetic calm. Each of these hones, whereas straightforward in pith, taps into the significant truth that we are not powerless fabric creatures, but powerful makers with the capacity to straightforwardly connect with and shape the unseen domains that underlie our reality. Commit fully, and you may accomplish realizations that will, until the end of time, move your point of view. So take this opportunity to lock in with the coming methods. Investigate them with earnest commitment, for inside them lies the key to opening the awesome enchantment that has laid torpid inside you since the dawn of time. Advanced practices. With a solid establishment in energy sensitization and cultivation, you're presently prepared to investigate more progressed zones for saddling your inner enchantment. These methods, born from the foremost exclusive branches of the antiquated conventions, permit you to use your enthusiastic powers with indeed more prominent dominance and deliberate. One of the foremost powerful practices is pranayama, the yogic science of breath control and regulation. You've as of now experienced the adjusting impacts of interchange nostril breathing. In any case, by including particular breath ratios, locks, and visualizations, you can achieve indeed more significant lively impacts. Methods like Bhastrika and Agni Prasana quickly construct up and circulate prana all through your system for expanded essentialness and center. Proper mastery of breath may be a direct way to stoke and control the internal heater of your life constraint. Visualization is another skill essential for any modern-day enthusiastic ace. Whereas you've as of now learned to make and extend vitality balls from your centers, the people of yore took this capacity to enchanted levels. Deities, mythic images, and yantra geometries all served as metaphysical instruments to shape and coordinate consciousness into exceedingly particular waveforms. By combining breath center, chanted mantras, and the concentrated visualization of a specific god or higher dimensional being, it is said you can attune yourself to the one-of-a-kind reverberation and capacity spoken to by that original. With most extreme purity and teach, you basically reconfigure your claim lively signature to exemplify uncommon powers. Of course, as your energies develop more heightens through such ones, you'll require advanced establishing and assurance measures. You'll learn methods like the ritualistic ring of control and the Giza body proportions to contain your growing circle of impact inside an impermeable drive field of your possessed creation. These higher teachings are shared not to be taken delicately, but as a guide for those tireless few who feel called to the path of genuine vitality, authority, and conscious co-creation of reality. Remain devoted, and you'll open abilities most can scarcely contemplate as conceivable in a human form. Living a mysterious life, with a strong establishing in the foundational and progressed vitality practices, you presently have the tools to very actually live a mysterious life. For genuine dominance does not come from basically accessing altered states, but completely coordination and encapsulating these energetic principles into your daily presence. The first key is adjusting yourself with the all-inclusive laws and rhythms that underlie all of creation. The antiquated conventions talked of permanent standards like mentalism, correspondence, extremity, and rhythm that shaped the working framework for showing reality. By attuning to these patterns through disciplines like crystal gazing and characteristic cycles, you'll flow in agreeable co-creation. On a practical level, this means propensities like beginning your day by cultivating nearness and appreciation, taking minutes to go inside, feel the aliveness beating through you, and donate much appreciated for this present opportunity to encounter the enchantment of being. It's building up a state of correspondence with the universe itself. From that centered space, you'll at that point start living your everyday life as an expanded ritual, magic circle or lace. Seeing your domestic as a sanctuary or sacrosanct precinct to be enthusiastically kept up. Seeing your work as an act of sacred benefit. And maybe most importantly, as often as possible reconnecting to the living insights of nature as reminders of the invigorating drive sustaining all life. For the old wizards realized that beyond technique, true enchantment may be a state of consciousness, a non-ordinary awareness that sees all of creation as a dynamic web of vitality and potential to be locked in with. It's relating to each individual, question, or involvement as concentrated packets of this primordial life constrain, instead of dormant matter. By always reviving this viewpoint through your owns, assignments, and intuitive, you start vibrating at the next reverberation more intelligent of your full energetic truth. You gotten to be more than fair a passive eyewitness, but a wielder of this sublime source power. And from that enthusiastic dominance, Your world is very actually re-enchanted as the exceptional and supernatural ended up your modern conventional. For you have recovered your birthright as a magical being, one who encounters all of presence as an awesome, enormous move of boundless creative potential. As we wrap up, let's reflect on what we've discovered. Enchantment is genuine, and it's within you, showing as the effective transformative energy. We've connected ancient shrewdness with advanced science, learned practical techniques to harness this vitality, and investigated how it can significantly affect our lives and the world around us. Now it's your turn to experiment and share your encounters. Start a discussion below. What unused energy techniques are you energized to try? And in the event that you're prepared to keep making magic with us, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you do not miss out on any of our charming modern substance. Share this video to spread the enchantment distant and wide, because magic develops when it's shared. Thank you for joining us on this magical journey.